We're joined now by its chairman, Andrei Kostin. Thank you so much, Mr. Kostin, for joining us. Now, we've been talking about this possibly secret meeting that most of the international bankers here in Davos have had yesterday. We know that there was Mr. Moynihan, Mr. Ackerman from Deutsche Bank, Barney Frank as well. You were in that meeting. What was the discussion about?
That was not a very secret meeting, I would say. But there was a number of issues discussed, the prospects for global growth, the major issue of the global economy, and also a matter of regulations and regulatory matters, which are quite important, of course, and very high on the agenda now.
Did you have a common position? From our understanding, you were trying to find a common position to present to finance ministers and central bankers on Saturday here in Davos.
Yeah. Yeah, I think there's first of all, there's a understanding all across the table among bankers that these matters should be resolved, that should be discussed, that there is an issue, that we can't continue like before, and so a lot of changes are needed. But bankers are prepared to discuss it and to find compromise on all issues, including bonuses, including more regulations, or we'd rather prefer to say about better regulation than more regulation, because more is not necessarily a good thing.
Was there an outcry to try and stop this kind of idea that was proposed by Mr. Obama of splitting off certain assets?
Well, I think that is not specifically discussed. I think there should be a good reasons to talk to regulators and just to see what will be in the interest of the financial industry, what is not. I think that that's an important, because at the end of the day, everybody should be interested in the growing financial sector and to fund more money for the economy. So that's the key concern.
Mr. Kostin, what does the Obama proposals actually mean for Russian banks as a whole?
Well, I think you can't really use it as a mirror what's happening in America and Russia, because the Russian banking sector is very different. Our core business is lending money. That's what exactly which was expected from the bank, I think, in the West. And on the other hand, we don't have such an urgent issue of bonuses, because we don't receive so much big bonuses, maybe. So I think the nature of the Russian banking and the nature of our business is quite different. So the proposed changes would not affect the Russian banking sector very much.
There does seem to be so many Chinese banks now on the world stage. Do you feel in competition at all, or would you look at a joint venture with possibly a Chinese counterpart?
Our banks, Russian banks, are still mainly domestically oriented. And of course, we're trying to be the best. We're trying to compete on the local market. And I have to add that actually there's no very big issue of the relationship between the government and the banking sector in Russia. I think we cooperate with the government all through the crisis, and I would say that relationship between the Russian banks and public opinion and the government are quite good.
Do you expect, Mr. Kostin, the metals merger proposed by billionaire Deripaska and Mr. Potanin to be feasible?
What do you mean?
The metals merger.
Well, I think the discussions for the whole year, for the whole last year, about different kind of mergers. I think in general, Russian companies in these industries, they are ready for merge. They would like to be bigger. They would like to be international. So we might expect some mergers or more mergers during this or next year, but which specifically, that's too early to say.
Mr. Kostin, thank you so much. A pleasure to have you with us today. That was Andrei Kostin, the VTB Group's CEO and chairman. Respect.